Beyond the 9 to 5 podcast with Dee. It's been a long week and I am happy that the week has ended. I hear that, I don't know if it's this week or last week, for those of you that listen to Ashake was in this April, right? Yeah, I'm recording this episode in April, by the way, if it doesn't come out until May. But Ashake is in town, or he was in town, I'm not sure which one. And he went to the venue late. I don't know if it was in Toronto, but anyways, he went to the venue late and ended up only performing for an hour. And I saw videos online of people that were like, because his tickets was they were expensive, and my friend had texted me that we should go for the concert, and I was like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I love Ashake, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I would spend like $300 or $250. How much were the tickets going on for at the time? I don't think I'll spend that amount of money. But yeah. So I just thought it was interesting that people went and he came late and he only performed for an hour. And I think I saw this video on TikTok of the girl that was saying, what, he's done? And then just left with, yeah, people are mad. Don't boycott this Nigerian artist concert today. You're not going to get value for your money. I'm just kidding. I'll still go for a biscuit concert. But anyways, that's my rant for the day. I hope you guys had a great week and your weekend is looking great as usual. Again, if you don't know, if you're new here, we used to be called the Career Club Podcast, but now we're called the Beyond the 9 to 5. I offer different services. You can visit my website if you want to learn more. The career map template is coming out, and it will be good for you, and it's a good tool for everyone to use. We also have other things in the work as well. If you like to journal, if you know, you know. But yeah, that is coming as well. We'll be announcing it once everything has been put in place. But on to my drink. Again, don't ask me what drink that is. It's the usual regular dangler drink. Today we're talking about something very interesting. Have you ever found yourself in the corporate world or in a job and you find that you're doubting yourself? You find that you wake up every day and you're like, can I even do this job? Like, can I bring myself to do this job? You are scared, you are anxious. Do you know what that is? That is called Imposter Syndrome. Now, let's look up the definition of Imposter Syndrome. So, Imposter Syndrome basically means, one second, it's a feeling of unworthiness or incompetence despite achieving accomplishments and success. This feeling is most common in the workplace, but it can manifest itself in just about any part of life. Those with imposter syndrome often go to great lengths to hide it, which can stunt their future success. People who suffer from this syndrome, simply put, feel like frauds. You feel like you have defrauded your way up to being where you are right now, and despite being smart, skilled, capable professionals that actually deserve to be there, you feel like you don't. Instead of celebrating your accomplishments, you feel like you're constantly living in fear of being exposed for a fraud or being found out as a fraud. Now, imposter syndrome, according to research, affects over 82% of people in the world. Like, it's very common, so don't feel special now. Don't think that it's just you and you're the only one experiencing it. Now, the things or the symptoms and the ways that you can tell, if you are in the workplace and you feel like, oh, you got lucky, or you feel like something got handed to you, or you find it hard to, or when you are being praised for a job well done, you feel like, are they tricking me right now? You feel like you're being tricked. You don't take mistakes lightly. Like, making like the slightest mistake or failure affects you so much. You fear failing, and sometimes it also shows through overconfidence. You are being overconfident because you don't want to be caught as a fraud, so you overcompensate and feeling like you're not enough and everything, and it could lead to depression, anxiety, a lot of different things, and you're not even experiencing your job. Now, have I experienced it? Oh, I think this needs a sip. Okay, have I experienced imposter syndrome? I'm sorry to tell you that I have. I still do. Now, so far in my career, I've experienced imposter syndrome at varying levels. If I am maintaining the same level of job, like let's say I was an HR generalist and I moved to a different company as an HR generalist, I've already vetted myself in that job and I know that I can do it. So most times I don't have anxiety when it comes to that. But if I was an HR generalist, and now I'm just using my career as an example, and I move into an senior HR generalist role, now that comes with extra responsibility, it comes with extra work, there are more eyes on me, and things like that. Imposter syndrome kicks in at that point. Because I'm like, why did they give me this job? Like, I'm just a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, why am I here? Like, why did these people, like, what did I say in the interview that made them give me this job? And I know a lot of people can relate. Now, how do you manage this? We'll get right into it. Acknowledge your achievements. Like, you can't wake up every morning and be like, oh, I've not done anything. Girl, you've done a lot. Like, you've done absolutely so many things. Like, you have gone to school, you have graduated, you have a certificate to show for it, you got that job because that company saw something in you and you interviewed and they put you in that position because they feel like you can do it. If other people feel like you can do it, who are you to beat yourself down and tell yourself that you can't? Acknowledge your accomplishments. Give yourself an applaud when other people are not. Applaud yourself. Applaud yourself. Applaud yourself. Like, and it's also important to write it down. Write down the things that you've done, and you go back and be like, in those moments where you feel like you're not enough or you're not doing enough, you go back and be like, wow, I actually did that. Now, that's one. Talk about it. Share with people. Talk to your friends. If you have a mentor, now I talked about having a career mentor in one of my episodes. Go listen to it. It's on Spotify. But if you have a mentor, it's very, very good. They will give you perspective on what they see, looking in from the outside. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. They will kind of give you that ginger, that boost that you need. Another thing is how to challenge negative thoughts. It's very, 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 very common that a lot of this, what has to do with imposter syndrome, is in your mind. It's just here. Like 90% of the time, there's nothing wrong with you. But your mind is telling you otherwise. Your mind is playing tricks on you. So what do you need to do? You need to speak back to that thought. The minute you have it, when you're feeling self-doubt, when you're questioning your validity of being in this position, question that thought. Like, put it back and be like, why am I feeling this way? Like, what's the justification? What's the evidence that supports this thought? What's the evidence that supports this feeling? Not me sounding like a therapist, but honestly, I'm telling you the things that have worked for me, and I hope that it works for you. Ask questions for yourself. Challenge those thoughts and like ask for evidence. Find evidence that supports or disproves the thoughts that you're having. Another thing is to set realistic goals. Now, I cannot overemphasize this. Please, 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 please don't shoot for the stars when you've not even touched the clouds, like when you've not even touched the moon. I don't know if that makes sense, but you get what I mean. Like, don't try to get on the 30th floor when you can't even climb up to the 3rd floor. Like, set smart goals, specific goals. Make them timely, please. Make them attainable. Very, very realistic goals, please. Because if you're doing a job or you're newly hired in a company, and you know how they ask you in the interview and they're like, where do you see yourself in 3 months into the job? And in the interview, like, I would have done this, I'm a multitasker, I do this. Please, 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 that's just it for the interview. Be realistic on the things that you do. Break your tasks of the day into manageable tasks and prioritize the things that you actually have the ability to do. Don't overwork yourself. Don't add too much to your plate in the spirit of working hard, in the spirit of trying to get things done. Please make sure they're attainable goals. Make sure that your goals are smart and they're very specific things that you're trying to achieve for the day. Break your tasks into like daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly, yearly, and things like that. Don't try to jump the gun and try to get ahead of yourself, because that's when you're going to start making mistakes, because you've not gotten to that level yet, or you've not even done the small things that you're supposed to do, and you start making mistakes, and then your imposter syndrome kicks in, and then you're telling yourself you're not enough, and that affects your mental health, and that affects your ability to do the job, and you're getting anxious every morning on your drive to work. Now, another thing is, everybody's going to fail. Like, it's standard at this point. Like, it's normal to fail. It's normal to make mistakes. It's normal. There is nobody out there that doesn't make mistakes. So what you need to do is, instead of seeing failure, I wrote something down here and says, instead of seeing failure as confirmation of incompetence, look at it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody says this, and it's not easy when you make a mistake. When you send an email and you meant to copy only one person and you copy all in the company, and you're like, oh, it's literally going to be in your mind for days. Or when you send an email, you didn't put punctuation. Oh, when I first joined the corporate world in Canada, oh my gosh, I would reread that email 100 times, and there's always that one thing that is just hiding from plain sight. You've reread it 1,000 times, but you just miss that one thing, and then you send it, and then you go back and read that email, and you're like, did I just say that? I didn't put comma in that sentence, or I didn't put a T behind that Robert, or I misspelled that person's name. Now, after like years of experience, I'm like, that's another day. As long as they get the gist of the message. Nobody's perfect, please. Like the other day in my company, I think an email had gone out from the CEO, and obviously CC'd all employees. And then all of a sudden I got a message. So person would like to recall this email. I'm like, oh, so these people, for a CEO of a company to make a mistake, so who are you not to make a mistake? Please, just learn from it. Just learn from it and call it a day. Don't start beating yourself up. And in that same vein, it's important to practice self-compassion. Like, please and please be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with kindness. Don't speak down on yourself. Don't say things that are not nice, that are not kind to yourself. Everyone makes mistakes, like I said, and it's okay to be imperfect. And lastly, if you feel like it is eating into you, like it is eating deep into the fabric of what you are and who you are, please, 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 please talk to somebody. Please talk to somebody. Talk to a career coach. Talk to a therapist. Sometimes it's more than you know. It's different things that are going on. Please, 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 please talk to somebody. Please talk, and don't be a perfectionist. Like, nobody's perfect. Nobody, absolutely. When you're not God, nobody's perfect. And like, don't let that hinder you from moving forward or saying yes to new opportunities. Like, don't even use that imposter syndrome to push yourself. Let that be your drive to prove to yourself that, what's that thought that's telling me I can't do it? What's that thought that's telling me I can't become a project manager in my job? Yes, I can, and yes, I will. I will prove to it. Like, I'll tackle it. I would prove to it that I can do it. Now, it's not something that you can wake up overnight and just overcome. It's a process. It's just having those tools and being able to use it when you need them. So I feel like people that with 30 years, 40 years of experience in the corporate world still experience imposter syndrome, and unfortunately there's nothing you can do about it to completely chase it away, but you can absolutely manage it. Okay, So on that note, I would say that I wish all of us a great career and a good experience, especially with our 9 to 5. Nobody wants to go to work feeling anxious, feeling stressed. And if you are, please talk to somebody. There are tools available for you to use to manage that. Please don't stay in a toxic workplace if you feel like that is what is leading you to the anxiety and everything else that you're feeling. I wish you all the best. If you want to talk as well, you can go to my website beyondthe9to5.com and book a consultation with me. We can have a conversation. I'm just gonna take a sip of my drink. I feel like my throat is very dry. So as I was saying, we can have a conversation. You can DM me on Instagram beyond9to5. Comment below on YouTube. Like, there's a lot of different ways that we can connect. I'm trying to build a community, and just know that I'm here regardless, and there are other people out there as well to support you through your corporate journey. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, and apologies for my shameless plug, but we have to do what we have to do. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, a great week, a great month. Summer is coming. Make the best of it. Go out, have fun. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.